Bluff City Media presents the Two Buck Sports Show with your hosts, Rusty Buckets and Uncle Buck. Now, let's get to the show.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to your Monday edition of the Two Buck Sports Show. I am your co-host, Rusty Buckets, coming to you live from East Memphis, Tennessee. Checking in with my guy, Drew Gann, as always, usually, even though I'm going to be out the next couple of days. I got my guy, Drew Gann, here checking in. How are you today, sir?
I'm good. Overcast day here in North Mississippi. I heard you were getting an In-N-Out burger in East Memphis.
So that's a thing. We're getting an In-N-Out burger, and they're putting a Bojangles in both of them within a stone's throw of my house. So T's and P's
this time next year.
Here.
Yeah, this time next year, Rusty's going to be 300 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
But, good weekend here in North Mississippi. The family's good. We first full week of school started today, and everybody was out the door on time. So we'll just hope to keep that streak going tomorrow as everybody gets less excited to go back to school.
Mm-hmm.
The start time and the departure time is liable to be later, which will be massive problems for Uncle Buck here. But yeah, it's good. Weekend was good. We're going to get all into it, I guess, right?
Yeah, I remember like the first couple of days of school, like it's kind of cool, right? You're seeing your buddies again, you're back in the swing of it, but then like it loses its luster really quick, and then you're just like, dadgummit, I got to get up and go to school again. And so I can understand that the kiddos are going to wear thin on that pretty quick.
Yeah, it happens. They got to see their friends. It was weird. They started school on a Friday this year, which I think may be the case every year, but it seems like every year it surprises me that they're starting back on a Friday.
That is interesting. You start, I guess you kind of get like a running start, right? Like you get a little start and then a couple days off before you dive back in the first full week, but it's not like you do a whole lot anyway. The first week, it's all like agendas and syllabus and hanging out with your friends and all that. So you get it behind you and get moved on. So
King Meeks, Rusty's not going to lose weight when In-N-Out gets here.
Shade already. I got Jared throwing shade in the comments about breaking StreamYard. Now apparently going to have to lose weight to weigh 309 pounds.
He broke StreamYard because he sat on it.
Yeah, looking like Jabba the Hutt on our episode last Wednesday, that's for sure. But again, we got comments already popping off. Thank y'all for those that are here. Jared, King Meeks, Edward, Jalen, thanks y'all for checking in. But Drew, we start our Mondays off the same way every week, wasting everybody's time.
That's right. It's Monday. It's our first show of the week, which means it's our time for our best in beef. This segment started as just Rusty and I's phone call. We always catch up first. We're best friends for over a decade. We catch up first on what happened before we get into the sports and what all you guys care about. Although I hope, over the year and a half that we've been here with Bluff City Media, that you also care about us as people and not just our takes. And so we're going to get into our best in beef of the week, brought to you by
Donna's Italian Beef, 509 Constitution Drive in Iuka, Mississippi. Check them out for chocolate gravy and biscuits in the morning, slug burgers at lunch. You can get you a sack lunch on the way to Pickwick, Monday through Friday, 7 to 3, Saturday, 7 to 11. It's a great pit stop on your way to the lake for the weekend, guys. Tell Jim and the guys that the $2 sent you and they'll fix you up. Again, that's Donna's Italian Beef, 509 Constitution Drive in Iuka, Mississippi.
All right. Well, because we do think about our fans and our viewers, we do condense this segment to just 2 bullet points. It is our best of the week and our biggest beef of the week. So I set them up, Rusty. You knock them down. What's the best thing that happened to you this weekend?
Honestly, yesterday was the first time in well over a month that I didn't stare at my computer for 4 to 7, 8 hours each day. Like I didn't even open my computer once. I had minimal screen time yesterday, which was really nice. It was an awesome day, not having to look at my computer, hanging out with Maggie. We walked around IKEA. If you know, it's a great way to spend a Sunday. Had an awesome time hanging out with her, just being real low key over the weekend, which was nice. But the best part was not having to stare at my computer. I finished all my real estate school. I finished all my prerequisite training for my training that starts tomorrow in Denver, Drew. So I am finally done with my computer, at least until having to look at your ugly mug here.
Yeah. Well, hey, every week, every day you can be out from in front of a computer or screen's a good day, and that's my best as well. Listen, we've run ourselves ragged. As y'all know, my wife is pregnant, and she's in the stages of pregnancy. The first trimester is hard. The second one's easy. The third one's hard again. She's exiting out of the first trimester, and so she is just easily fatigued. And you put that on top of like a school teacher starting school, first year in a new grade, getting classroom ready, lesson plans, because she worked all week last week, even though the kids didn't go back till Friday. And then we had like a birthday party Saturday. And listen, Saturday night, we had met our limit. And we don't do this ever, really. But we just looked at each other and was like, hey, family day tomorrow. We're going to skip out on church. We'll watch it from home. But we got up yesterday morning at like 9 a.m. Because the babies, they're up at 7. That's sleeping in for them. So about 9:30, we had eaten breakfast. We went to the park, and I loaded up everybody's bicycles and scooters, and the park was empty. And so we just went to the park yesterday and rode and had fun. And then when everybody got sick of it and was ready for lunch, we went to the Dodge's store. If you know, got everybody a 99-cent slushie, and went home and ate lunch, watched a movie, and took a nap. And we were refreshed and rejuvenated today. And, it's what weekends are supposed to do, especially Sundays, is recharge you. And somehow with 4 kids, 2 of which being 3 and under, we were able yesterday to just disconnect, recharge, and able to show up today for work with a little bit of energy.
Love that. Yeah. Sometimes you just need those down days like that where you don't do anything. And that's exactly what we did after our IKEA trip yesterday, which was nice. So kudos to y'all for getting that.
IKEA is not stress-free. It is fun to walk around in there, but if you buy anything, just, block off 2 days worth of time to put that together.
Thankfully, yesterday it was just like accoutrements, like odds and ends type things, no dressers, anything we had to put together. It was just little kitchen tools and stored stuff. And so it was really nice. Didn't have to put anything together. It literally just took it to Maggie's, took it out of bags, and then was done. So, and actually I didn't spend a dime yesterday. It's the first time I've ever been to IKEA and not bought anything. I didn't really need anything. I'm trying to condense all the stuff that I have anyway.
Meatballs?
Did
you buy meatballs?
No. So we ate lunch on our way there. We ate at Lenny's. And if you know, man, Lenny's is goated sandwiches. And so ate Lenny's on the way there. And the restaurant was closed. Like the little bistro up front was open and they were cooking their little cinnamon buns and they smelled so good. But again, boys trying to lose a little weight. So I laid off of the meatballs and the cinnamon buns yesterday. It was a struggle, but we did it, Drew.
Hey, there you go. But unfortunately, what goes up must come down. I think Isaac Newton said that first. So what's the worst thing that happened to you this weekend?
So mine's more of just like, it was comical, but it's main character syndrome. And if you go to a public gym, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Like everybody's got their tripods out, filming their workouts. Everybody's flexing in the mirrors and walking around. And like today, there was this one cat who, like, I'm doing squats on this squat rack and the guy next to me is doing deadlifts. We're both kind of getting fairly heavy or whatever. Well, we're actively in our sets and this guy like kind of goes between us to where he can stand in front of the mirror and flex and look at himself and then walk out. And so I just started watching this guy like, yeah, thanks, Kimmings. He's just like strutting back and forth. Yeah. Back and forth in front of the mirror, just like walking like that. Like he just kind of comes by doing this and then he goes by doing this. And it's just like, bro, what are you doing? Like nobody wants to see you walking around flexing like that. Like literally just pacing around the gym. Then he ends up on the bench press next to me doing the same thing, like walking in front of me to go to the mirror and comes back. Well, then at the end of my workout, I'm over at this like machine. I'm doing some curls and I'm trying to wind down. And Drew, there's probably not 6 feet, maybe 8 feet between me and the mirror. And this guy's going to come, same dude walking, just plant right in front of me and start flexing with some smaller weights. And it's like, bro, what are we doing here? You got this entire 30,000 square foot gym or whatever that you could go flex and do whatever, but yet you keep getting in people's way, particularly mine. And I maybe sound like a curmudgeon, like it is what it is, but main character syndrome in the gym it's funny, but it's an annoyance. Last week, I'm over in the corner of the gym by myself doing my own thing, a little like a workout with some jump ropes and stuff. So I'm over in the corner trying to stay out of the way. only for this girl to come set her tripod up. And then when I'm like, hey, I still have a few more sets. She had the audacity to be like, and then and walk away. I'm like, I'm in the corner by myself. Like, why are you coming over here? But like main character syndrome in the gym is quite annoying.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys get this, what I'm getting from Rusty or not. But it sounds like he likes to talk about going to the gym, which sounds like a flex, and maybe a little bit of main character syndrome himself. I mean, it's really ironic.
Jared said it here.
Yeah, it's really ironic that one of the two of us who spend at minimum 5 hours a week in front of a camera talking to people are complaining about people videoing themselves in the gym.
I mean it is funny, but
it's a little pot and kettle here.
There's nobody else in this room. It's literally just me. Like, I'm not filming other people. I'm guaranteeing in the background of a half dozen or better content creators on their Instagrams, but I ain't filming nobody else except for maybe like Jaron and Dez up here. Ain't nobody else here.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that it seems awfully ironic that you've got a beef with people filming themselves for the internet,
That's fine.
So
I mean, whatever. At least it's not. I'm not filming in a public place, but not in a public. The difference is it's not a public place.
I get that. I'll give you that much. I will concede that much. All right, my biggest beef.
Jalen gets it.
I know
Jalen gets it. Jalen 100% get. Do your stuff. Get out of the way. We don't need content creation here. Thank you, Jalen.
Oh, I do agree. The gym is not the place for that. If you went to Planet Fitness, they would probably smite those people and kick them out.
100%. And give them a donut on the way out. Yeah.
They'll ring the alarm at Planet Fitness.
I once set off the lunk alarm at a Knoxville, Tennessee Planet Fitness, so I have beef with them. As I left, I just knocked the donuts into the trash can and kept going. But anyway, that's another story for another day.
If there's one word I would use to describe Rusty, it's a lunk.
That's fair. I've been called worse, but that's fair.
The sound he makes when he jumps out of the boat into the water is just lunk. All right, my biggest beef, and I know anybody who's married or is in a serious committed relationship with a person in far enough into your relationship to where you use their shower or you share a shower, you understand this. Shampoo bottles. I have dozens of shampoo bottles in our shower. And you think that's what I'm going to complain about. It's not. It's not, because I do need vision corrected. I do need my vision corrected. I use glasses when I wake up. They're always on my nightstand. I throw my glasses on, get ready, hop in the shower, and I put my contacts in. It's basically the last thing I do, okay? Here's the problem. I have run out of shampoo, so I'm looking for shampoo. There's dozens of bottles. Why in the world do these companies put the word shampoo in like 6-point font in the bottom corner of these bottles? Like, do you know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Have you ever just looked at a shampoo bottle like this and you're like, what are you? Like, I don't know if you're shampoo, conditioner, face wash, foot scrub. Like, what are you? Why do you? It should be FDA mandated to put in large letters shampoo, conditioner. Like that is the most important thing, not the scent or the brand. It's what are you? Are you shampoo or are you not?
That's fair. I appreciate color coordination for that very reason. Like in my shower, my face wash is orange, my shampoo is white, and my body wash is like a greenish Duke Cannon diplomacy. And so it's got Maggie's is the same way. If I shower at Maggie's, her shampoo is white, her conditioner is black. I got a bottle of Duke Cannon in the corner over there. So for me, like I totally agree. The shampoo is written really small. But at least if you're going to do that, make it color coordinated to where I know I reach for the white bottle, I reach for the orange bottle, I reach for the green bottle, and then I'm good.
This is how I'm reading the shampoo bottle if it's not my shampoo. And I will say, if it's my shampoo, I know.
Yeah. No, I get it.
You know, I use the same shampoo for like 6 months. I don't have that much hair. You know?
And I'm a bit same. I've had the same bottle of Head and Shoulders, this pump bottle for Head and Shoulders for probably 3 years because I don't need a whole lot to wash with a little bit of hair I got. I have more beard wash products, and again, it's an Off-White with a green lid that I use to clean the beard, and I've got mine in order because I'm very much like there's an order to the shower. It's hair, face, beard, body, and so I've got them lined up like that on my shelf so that I know I can go in order. It's nice. when you have your own shower, you live by yourself, basically. My roommate and I, we like 3-bed, 2-bath. Like I can just line my stuff up and it's never messed with. And I've just got a routine and it's so nice.
My wife collects shampoo and shower products like bobbleheads. Like trying to find one is just, and I've went through some before. I swear, like 6 bottles. Like, are any of these shampoo? Just because she's got a new flavor of the week. So she had read online that something, increases length or something, and so she goes buys it. And me trying to find it without glasses on is just a nightmare.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, we have wasted enough of the fine people's time this morning with our best in beef of the week. So I want to tell you really quickly about Ounce of Hope. OunceofHope.com, code Bluff City, get you 15% off your first order. Go there, get all of your products, whether it's help you relax on the weekend for a hangover-free solution. If it's products for your dog, we are big fans of the CBD treats for dogs, as they've helped Maggie's dog with his thunderstorm anxiety quite a bit. So you can check those out if Ounce Hope is not your thing, maybe for your dog. But for me, I love their gummies. Over the weekend, I tried for the first time their roasted coffee. It's a cold brewed coffee, CBD, THC, like mixer. It is fantastic. It was a great way to kind of get my day started on Saturday as I was just finishing up some school stuff. Helped me to relax, get in the right headspace. Check out the roasted coffee blends. You will not regret it. Again, ounceofhope.com, code Bluff City, get you 15% off your first order.
Choking and token. The Mid-South's first cannabis-themed jiu-jitsu tournament.
August 16th at Midtown Krav Maga and Jiu-Jitsu.
At 1 p.m. 21 plus to compete or consume.
Consumption not required.
Ounce of Hope is licensed by the state of Tennessee. This is all 100% legal hemp products. Everything's good to go.
We'll have gi divisions.
No gi divisions.
Madison bracket, guaranteeing 4 matches per division, plus an absolute winner.
Each fighter receives an Ounce of Hope gift bag, and there's prizes for every winner.
Check out the link below to sign up.
Luca, have you seen Luca in the Men's Health magazine? Oh my goodness!
So that's for real?
Yeah. Are we scared? I mean, are we like, oh no, here comes Luca?
There's no way that is real, yo. There has to be.
Real.
There
Photoshopped.
There has to be some airbrush. There's something that was done. There's no way that dude looks just like that, Joe. There's no way, man.
There's
the thing is, Joe, I don't think he's never looked like that, Joe. Ever. Like, it's one thing if somebody's like, oh, you remember back in the day you used to look like? And you're like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of got to that age, felt just, it's kind of where I am.
He's working out like crazy. He's transformed himself. All right, not a believer. Oh, all right.
It's just, I want to see it differently.
Okay.
Tune in to the Night Court podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
What is up? Welcome back to the 2 Buck Sports Show on Bluff City Media. We are the 2 Bucks, Uncle Buck and Rusty Buckets over here to my right. My camera's backwards.
It's weird. It's
no,
weird.
left. Okay, I got too many screens showing my own face here. We are on Bluff City Media's YouTube page. We're on Bluff City Media's X page, also Rusty's X page. And I would like to take a moment to cordially invite everybody that is watching elsewhere other than the BCM YouTube page to come on over to the BCM YouTube page. We will see you everywhere. We've got the comments on the screen, right, Rusty? We got the comments on the screen so everybody can see it. But if you want to hang out and talk with everybody in our cool chat, we got Jared and Wayno and King Meeks and Edward. I'm sure will be here and lots of others. If you want to talk with them amongst yourselves, come to YouTube. All the cool kids are there. And this is our second segment of the day where we are going to talk about the Memphis Grizzlies, as well as just the NBA. Hit the hot topics here. What you got?
So I got a surprise for you. This is a feature. Shout out to the No Bluffing podcast because they do this, and I really enjoyed that they do this. So Drew and I are coming along into the 21st century, and this is a bit of a throwback as well. So Drew, I hope you're listening. If it's too loud, let me know in the comments. We're going to try something new and play our old intro music in the background as we talk about Luka Doncic and the Los Angeles Lakers. So as we're diving into our basketball content, Drew, we're going to dive in a little bit on Luka is signing a $165 million extension over the weekend, as Shams reported. Luka has locked up his time with the Lakers for at least the next 3 years. He's going to be avoiding free agency next year and hanging around making the team his own. So I got this cool little graphic. Y'all let me know what you think. Luka is signing, Drew, a 4-year, $165 million extension to hang out with the Lakers. Initial thoughts for me is this is clearly kind of indicating that transition off of LeBron, right? We're heading towards the Luka Doncic-led Lakers, and this is going to be Luka's team going forward. Now, the interesting thing is in that final year, there is a player option where he can opt in or out of staying with the Lakers. But Drew, I think this signals the end of the LeBron era. Maybe not this year, but this is the Lakers clearly planting their flag on the Luka Doncic island.
Yeah, so I do want to make one small correction. It's a 3-year, $165 million. It's 3 year, $55 million a year. Yeah, you could say that it signals the transition and the primary focus going forward. We knew this. I mean, from the moment they trade that, like, this was official. This is getting it done. It's a max. It's not a super max that he could have got with Dallas. And so I'm sure Luka, as he's working out this summer, definitely thought about the fact that instead of making, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander money, like $70 million a year, he's only making $55 million a year. I don't feel bad for the guy. I mean, $55 million a year. I mean, but yeah, this is Luka's team, and this is the most frustrating part about the trade as a fan of the Memphis Grizzlies and a Western Conference team is that Dallas just gave the Lakers a future that they didn't create for themselves. And so, yeah, they locked him into 3 more years at $165 million total. Good for Luka. And listen, if he is actually in shape, and I believe you saw on that night court clip during our break, if it's indeed his real body and not an airbrush job, God help us.
Yeah.
Because he looks like he is going to snatch hearts all year long.
Absolutely. And on FanDuel Sportsbooks, on FanDuel.com, they have Luka as the 7th best odds to win the MVP next year at plus 2,400. I mean, Drew, with pictures of Luka coming out like that, he's on the cover of Men's Health. If he's truly in shape like they're showing, I might put a few doll hairs on Luka at plus 2,400 because, I mean, the guy looks like he's in the best shape I've ever seen him since he's been in the NBA.
All right. I'll give you my take on Luka's odds. Can you pull up everybody that's in front of him?
I've got it right. Yeah, keep going, but I got it.
Okay. Luka, I don't care who is in front of him, to be honest with you. If you give Luka the 7th best odds going into the season, any season, even fat Luka, that's great odds because there's no doubt he is at minimum a top 5 NBA player.
For sure.
He's in Los Angeles, which is going to get a lot of publicity. They are going to get a lot of traction, a lot of talk on top of just the normal Luka's amazing talk. He feels like of all of the players in the NBA that haven't won one, that he is the most due to win one. You can correct me if I'm wrong, or if you disagree with me. I'm not wrong. But he feels like he is the most due to win an MVP.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna have to correct something here. So his MVP odds that's the NBA Finals MVP odds. So the NBA regular season MVP odds, I was in a hurry when I was making this graphic earlier, SGA at plus 200, Nikola Jokic at plus 250, Luka Doncic is plus 500, followed by Giannis, Wemby, Ant, Cade, and Kevin Durant are your top MVP candidates. Okay. So on FanDuel.com, his NBA regular season MVP is plus 500. He's plus 2,400 for the NBA Finals, which is showing the Lakers are plus 1,700 to make, which is up. When we made this graphic last week, Drew, it was plus 1,500. They moved to plus 1,700. But they're essentially a lock for the playoffs. To make the playoffs, it's minus 550, plus 220 to miss. In retrospect, the Memphis Grizzlies are plus 120 to make the playoffs and minus 160 to miss the playoffs. So, like, basically saying that the Lakers are a mortal lock to make the playoffs at minus 550.
I would agree with them being a lock to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
You still got prime Luka, possibly best Luka we've ever seen if his body is any indication. And you still got LeBron James, who I'm at 41 years old. I don't care. I'm still going to take LeBron James to make the playoffs. Breaking news. That's not a hot take whatsoever. Yeah. So, yeah, the MVP odds, like, I don't know if I take Luka at plus 500. I may still try to look on further down. I mean, you still got Giannis below him.
He's plus 1,000.
Yeah, give me Giannis odds then. Yeah. What's John Morant odds for MVP?
Plus 15,000.
15,000 or 1,500?
15,000. Devin Booker, John Morant, Jaylen Brown are all 15,000.
Okay. All right. Well, and then if you want a $5 ticket on somebody, take one on each of those.
Yeah, I mean, that's not bad. Another one that's also very interesting to me is Cade Cunningham. Cade had a big year. He's getting a lot of hype. He's plus 4,000 currently in the MVP odds, which is tied with Kevin Durant and slightly ahead of Jalen Brunson at plus 5,000. I wouldn't mind a little flyer on a Cade Cunningham.
Cade Cunningham feels like he's a year too soon. Like, you feel like you've got to be the runner-up. Maybe. That's kind of how this goes. It's like James Harden was the runner-up, and then he won it. And then I think Giannis was a runner-up, and then he won it. And SGA was your runner-up 2 years ago, and he won it last year. It feels like Cade's got to get top 3, and then he's got to win it. So that's why I wouldn't bet on Cade. Hasn't
he won an MIP, a Most Improved Player? Didn't he win that?
I do believe that he won Most Improved, but I don't. That doesn't matter to me. I'm talking. You've got to be top 3 in MVP for me to bank on you.
It does matter a bit because the MIP is kind of like MVP in waiting. John Morant won that his second year or third year. He was a finalist for the Most Improved, but he lost to Dyson Daniels this past year. But MIP is kind of like a precursor to the MVP. Like you come in, you're a rookie of the year, whatever. You get an MIP, and then you're involved in the MVP conversations. And so you may be right, but I do like in a down Eastern Conference. And if the Pistons can stay healthy and be that team, that Cade could be a dark horse MVP candidate for next year.
Maybe. I like him better next year than this year for sure.
That's fair. So, but Drew, that's going to conclude basketball. Not a lot going on right now. We got a quiet kind of a season or off season. Drew, what you got?
One basketball topic before we do hit the bumper and go to football, where we'll spend the rest of the day. It was Evan Sittery did say that the Grizzlies were going back to the black Memphis Grizzlies throwbacks for this season, the ones that they wore in 2021, and I loved it. It's by far, well, I can't say by far when I'm about to say this. They're my second favorite throwbacks they've worn. I like them better than the white. I like the teal, and right up there with the teal are the blacks. It's the John Morant jersey that I have. I love the black Memphis because it says Memphis. It's the only Memphis throwback that we have that aren't the Sounds, I guess. And so I do love the black throwback.
I do too. I love them. I'm going to wait on that though, because he's saying that also that off-white with the yellow and blue stripe down the side has been leaked multiple times as well. Until there's an official announcement, I'm going to be fine either way because they both look amazing. Evan Sittery has also been one.
It's going to be both.
It's
going to be both. Just like they had the white Vancouver throwbacks last year, as well as the Sounds. There will be one that'll be like the inverse of that. They wore the yellow armbands.
Well, what is going to be
a white version of that?
The white version is that's going to be our city edition, and then those are going to be our throwbacks. So that's fair. I could get out. I love both of those. I love that it says Memphis on the chest. Agreed, 100%. I really like that white with the yellow and blue down the one side. I think it's clean. It's really crispy. I agree with Edward. Those 21-22s are our best, but due to contracts and due to who owns those will unfortunately never really be our full-time jerseys.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about contracts?
So it's something about the way the logos are, like the way that blue bear is owned. The Grizzlies can't make it the full
this one.
Yeah, that one. No, it's the big blue bear with the yellow ball. Remember that they had that they had on the side, like on the pants leg.
Yeah, but that's what this is.
I mean, essentially, yes. But it's something to do with the contracting. I read about it a while back that those unfortunately will not be able to be our full times. Although those are the best full time jerseys we've ever had. Ever had.
Well, that was still a edition. But yeah, it was cool because it was cool because they wore the yellow with it. That was what made it cool more than the jerseys themselves. The accents were cool.
Yeah, those looked really good. And plus, it was like a peak season for us, like with our peak powers before we got hurt in the playoffs. But,
yeah, that was the gritty after every win, the mob on the post game sideline interview mob. But that was peak of the Next Gen Grizzlies so far.
Yeah, exactly. So that was our peak of powers, and hopefully we return to that form here pretty soon. But speaking of peak of powers, we got a lot of football power moves that are happening right now in the NFL.
Yeah, a lot of football stuff going on. This is when we lost Wayno on Friday. So, Wayno, stick with us. American football is cool. It's played on a rectangle instead of your weird oval that your Australian rules football does. But, lots of news over the weekend as we get close to NFL season.
Yeah, so a lot of things happening in NFL, a lot of power plays being made. Micah Parsons, former Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think he's four-time. He's been in the league for 4 years, and he's made a Pro Bowl all 4 years, all NFL, just like a legit superstar defensive player. Requested a trade from the Dallas Cowboys in a very public falling out. There's been a lot of tension around him and Jerry Jones, who is a buffoon, and I'm just grateful, as bad as the Titans franchise is, I'm grateful that Jerry Jones is not our owner, even though Titans aren't a whole lot better. But anyway, I digress. But Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons have been kind of far apart on contract talks, Drew. Micah came out and said that they've been waiting, and him and Jerry had kind of a closed-door conversation, that Jerry took his contract negotiations and Micah's agent wasn't involved. And so it's just been this whole sticky mess that has led to him requesting a trade. Now, we've seen this happen before. Myles Garrett publicly posted and said, I want out of Cleveland. And then they salved the wounds to the tune of $95 million or whatever that contract was for those couple of years. And so I think that there's still a path there for Micah Parsons to be a Cowboy. But Drew, that relationship does seem a bit tenuous right now.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And you just knew that was coming. The contract negotiations have been long going. Micah Parsons is arguably the best defender in the NFL at one of the most valuable, if not the most valuable position that you can have in the NFL as an edge rusher. You look at what TJ Watt just got, 3 years, 90 or 120 something. I mean, a massive contract from the Pittsburgh Steelers after holding out through part of training camp. It's just crazy. Micah Parsons says, unfortunately, I no longer want to be here. I no longer want to be held to closed door negotiations without my agent. I no longer want shots taken at me for being injured while laying it on the line for the organization, our fans, and my teammates. I no longer want narratives created and spread to the media about me. This is just a 3-page long manifesto outlining everything that Jerry Jones does every single time that a high-profile player for the most high-profile NFL franchise It happens every time. Jerry Jones just mangles everything. I understand the financial constraints that go along with paying a player the most money for any position player in the NFL. Yes, but it's just like we talked about with SGA and what the Thunder did, paying Jay Will and Chet or J Dub and Chet and Shea. Like, sometimes you just got to pay the guy because you want other people to want to come play here.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go play in Dallas. And it's a shame, not for me because I hate the Cowboys, but it's a shame for the NFL that their most high-profile brand that they have has an owner that is a bigger show than the team.
Yeah, and showing up what the product is with your owner is sad. And he's come out and said that Micah Parsons is not going to be traded. We're not going to trade him, so don't ask. But Micah's camp, and I was just looking for the tweet. I don't see it up here, but I saw the other day, like, his top 4 teams, if I remember right, was the Buccaneers, the Bills, the Bears, and the Lions were the 4 teams that Micah would want to go to if he is traded. I mean, the Lions feel like a natural fit because they're good. If you want to go to the winner, that's it. But the Bears have had historically good defensive players. Honestly, it just all depends on where he's going to get a bag. Like, that's where he's going to go.
Yeah, same with the Buccaneers. I mean, I feel like I could name you 6 or 7 Pro Bowl linebackers that's played for the Buccaneers, or back end at least.
Yeah, so on FanDuel, once again, FanDuel.com, where we're doing all of our sports betting, and you should be doing too. Micah Parsons. I got a buddy named Micah Thomas. Micah Parsons is currently plus 600, the odds-on favorite to win the DPOI next year in the NFL. Drew, the Dallas Cowboys are sitting at 7.5 wins in their win total. Without Micah Parsons, I'm hammering the under on 7.5 just because he is such an impact player on that defense. In a team that's kind of in some transition, what's their running back situation going to look like? Yes, CeeDee Lamb and Dak have a great connection. Their secondary's got some question marks. And so without Micah Parsons on that defense, I think those questions get louder and louder and louder. And so, again, I'm hammering the under on that. The Cowboys are plus 550, which is the 3rd best odds out of 4 teams to win their division, and plus 2,200 to win the NFC on FanDuel.com.
Yeah, the NFC East has gotten pretty good. Do you expect Jaden Daniels to take a step back in his second year? I don't know. I'm sure that they are the 2nd favorite to win the NFC East behind the reigning Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. And bring up the rear will be the hopefully eventual Jackson Dart-led New York Giants, who's, speaking of poorly run franchises. Listen, if we're talking about the Cowboys, you've got to start with where they sit in the NFC East. And I do believe they are correct in being the 3rd best odds to win the division. Although it seems like that division flips every single year. And if you tell me that the Cowboys, strong arm Micah Parsons into playing, which how often do you see a guy sit out a whole season? He probably ends up playing for the Dallas Cowboys at some point, possibly. Maybe not probably, possibly. And then, like you said, Dak and CeeDee Lamb is an electric combination. If you can give me odds on CeeDee Lamb leading the NFL in receiving yards and receptions this year, I want it. So I do see a path there for the Dallas Cowboys to go over the 7.5 and win the division. I think those odds for the division are something, I might want to throw $5 on because the NFC East flips every single year.
So we'll get to more on the Commanders here in just a minute. But you brought up CeeDee Lamb. That's a great talk point right now for the on FanDuel.com, the NFL most regular season receiving yards for next season. CeeDee Lamb clocks in at 6 at plus 1,200 to lead the NFL in receiving yards, which again, I would throw $5 on that because it's a volume. He's a volume receiver. Those ahead of him
want to make money.
Yeah.
I want to make
Jamar
money.
Chase is plus 600 to lead, followed by Nico Collins, Jay Jettas, Malik Neighbors, Puka Nacua, and then CeeDee Lamb. So
Collins.
That's
a name I didn't expect. Yeah.
Plus 1,000. So if you want to give away money, lean on that. But if you want to make some money, I would put some money on CeeDee Lamb to lead the NFL.
I'm not throwing away. I don't think it's throwing away money to bet on Nico Collins. I think he's great, and I think C.J. Stroud's great. That's just not the name I expected to be second.
I'm not saying that he's not going to do it. I'm just saying there's other guys like the Bengals aren't going to be able to do anything but throw the ball to Jamar Chase. And so he's going first overall in most fantasy football drafts, I would assume. Pause. But
Who is?
Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase.
Okay, that's fair.
In most of the preseason rankings,
You've got the
and
number
things
one
I've been
pick.
seeing. I do have the number one pick.
News?
No,
you want to break
absolutely
news?
Not. Absolutely not. I've got my mind set on somebody, and so we'll see what comes out. We'll see what happens closer to time in just a couple weeks. That comes up.
I've heard that you should probably take Jackson Dart with the number one pick.
That's not happening because Jackson Dart and the New York Giants are plus 2,500 to win the division. The Dallas Cowboys plus 550. The Washington Commanders plus 220. And the Philadelphia Eagles are minus 140 to win the NFC East. Drew, I'm curious, though, our next topic here, does this change the odds? Because Jaden Daniels had a phenomenal rookie season. I had him in our family league, and he won me so many games down the stretch as I was getting in the playoffs. And I wanted him in our league, but literally he was taking a couple of picks by Patrick Jones right before I took him. But is Terry McLaurin, who has now requested a trade as well, very unhappy with the contract situation there in Washington, wanting to go try and play somewhere else. Does Terry McLaurin's absence change your mind on what Jaden Daniels can be in year two?
So this is a direct correlation for me. Like, does it – I don't know if you remember this. This is how I want to frame it. I've been trying to think about how I want to frame this in the last 10 seconds. So I found it feels like I've been buffering. But if you remember, Deebo Samuel is now a Washington Commander.
And have you seen him lately?
No.
He's a little chubby. Came in a little overweight.
It could, if Deebo Samuel is healthy, no, it does not change my perception for Jaden Daniels. Deebo Samuel is a guy that you can use everywhere. McLaurin is a burner. McLaurin is great. Don't get me wrong. But I've won fantasy football leagues with Deebo Samuel before. I know King Meeks in the comments is probably a little bit shell shy because he is over here chanting "Go Niners" in the comment section. Probably a little butthurt over the fact that Deebo is now a Washington Commander. Mm-hmm. But I love Deebo Samuel. I don't know what happens with Terry McLaurin.
This is also a thing.
Do I regret bringing him up? Maybe.
No, and here's the thing. So Deebo has been a guy that in our league, I've hunted Deebo in most of our fantasy drafts over the last 3 or 4 years. And out of those, let's say the last 4 years, 3 of them were really good. And he had one really bad where he was banged up and didn't play a ton. But Deebo feels like a good fit for this Washington offense where they can nickel and dime down the field. Jaden Daniels is currently sitting over under at 3,425 passing yards on FanDuel. If you want to hit that as a prop bet, he's like 12th best odds to lead the NFL in passing yards at plus 2,800, I believe. I'll look that up in just a second. But I think that Jaden Daniels, he's also plus 1,000 for regular season NFL MVP. Jaden Daniels is. But Terry McLaurin could impact that. He has been a high-profile receiver for the Commanders for the last couple of years, kind of a favorite target of Jaden Daniels. Last year, he's been a good red zone threat. But Drew, this is another one that could land with him back in Washington. With or without him, though, the Commanders odds are here on your screen. Win total is 9.5. Again, they were electric last year in Jaden Daniels' rookie year. Can he continue that without a sophomore slump? We'll see. Second best odds to win the division at plus 220, plus 1,000 for the NFC, and plus 2,000 if you think the Commanders are going to return to Super Bowl glory that they had in the late 80s and early 90s. I do think that Terry McLaurin does impact Daniels. Yeah. I do think that McLaurin impacts Jaden Daniels' season next year if he's not there, just because of how much and how well they click together.
Yeah, very well could be. I think the NFC East is going to be wide open. I don't know how much I believe in the repeat nature in the NFC East because of how much it flips. So yeah, I think anybody in the East has a shot unless you're unless you are the New York Giants.
The New York Giants. So a lot of football to be played coming up. Last thing we'll talk about on the NFL before we finish with some college football breaking news. Drew, the NFL and ESPN appear to be reaching an agreement that ESPN will take over a lot of the NFL's production, including the NFL Redzone, most famously known for commercial-free football all day long on Sunday, game after game after game, linking them together. Jared has already given his comments in the comments, and I happen to agree because this is going to be Stephen A. Smith and some clowns up there yelling and screaming and arguing in commercials, and it's going to change the landscape of NFL Red Zone, not for the positive, because anything ESPN's been putting out lately has not been great. You got a bunch of buffoons up there giving shock takes for attention and clickbait, and we've lost some of that true analysis of the games that they cover for the sake of being a shock jock. I'm not a big fan of this move. Apparently, the NFL is going to give them 10% equity in their brand. Give ESPN 10% equity, which could be worth billions for ESPN.
Sure. All right, so to kind of set the stage on this, I think it's what you need to remember is that Red Zone and the NFL Network was owned by CBS. Mm-hmm. So CBS apparently is hemorrhaging money. You know, they just they're letting Stephen Colbert walk. There's all these talks. It's been, and it's obviously it's political. You know, Donald Trump's taking the shots because Stephen Colbert, who is left as left as left can get, and because CBS is losing money, they are giving this away for just an equity stake in NFL Red Zone. Is this political? No. Are politicians always going to make like their jabs at their rivals getting fired? Yes. But this is just a money business. And the fact that ESPN is taking NFL Red Zone has everybody's initial reaction being what Rusty's and Jared are. Boo. Edward in the comments is saying, wow, that's horrible. And like that is everybody's first reaction. Let me just be on the forefront of saying, I hope that ESPN is going to turn the page in this calendar year because they have now gained the rights to two things that we hold dear: NFL Red Zone and Inside the NBA. With the Charles, Chuck, Shaq, Ernie, that show, the NBA postgame show, they now have both of them. So they have two real opportunities to gain fans and to change their reputation because ESPN has lost money just at par or more than par than anybody else in the TV industry. They've constantly let go of people that we love, like Zach Lowe and Ryan Russillo and
so
Bill
many.
Simmons, everybody who we like, they become too cheap to pay. So now what they have the opportunity to do is take two things that we hold so dearly and just let them be themselves. Don't tweak it. Don't start throwing ads in the middle of Red Zone. Don't start putting a leash on Chuck and Shaq as they get way too offensive. Just let them be and just let your viewers have what they like. You don't have to create and compete. You have just bought the competition, okay? So just let what drove people away from you and to these people be your thing now.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I have very little hope that ESPN is going to do that because what they do is they get it. They put these people like Kendrick Perkins and Stephen A. Smith who are just shock jocks and say the most random, outlandish things out there to get takes. And this might be controversial, but probably Pat McAfee too. And they've reeled him in quite a bit from what he used to be when he was kind of on his own. And so I'm not.
I think Pat McAfee is a case study in ESPN getting out of the way. So they let them run their graphic and drop the F-bomb on network television.
To a degree. They have dialed it back a little bit, but like I'm curious what that's going to look like. But I saw this on Twitter literally just like a second ago. I hope it translates well on the screen. But this is your new Octobox that they do on NFL Red Zone. You're going to have Pat McAfee, Stephen A. Smith, AJ Hall, Kendrick Perkins. You got Mel Kiper up there going. He's going to be like Pat. This time it's going to be Pat instead of Todd. Pat. I'm not looking forward to this. And I also saw in the comments of the tweet, it says, get ready for instead of 8 hours of continuous football, 8 hours of continuous commercials to pay the bills.
I don't think that they're going to do it that way. I hope. I'm not going to say I expect. I hope because what you saw, and we gripe about Stephen A. and Kendrick Perkins and all those guys, they were always trying to recreate Chuck and Shaq. Now they have them, so just let them be them.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. Let them be themselves. Uncle Buck's a lot more optimistic about that than I am. I'm kind of holding true to what's been going on, right?
I will live longer than Rusty because of Rusty's existential dread.
No, I'm like Edward. My expectations are in the basement, so just like anything will impress me. Like anything, my expectations are I've lowered my expectations to 0. That way, anything will be impressive to me.
I will tell you this: they will find a way to make it more expensive to watch.
Absolutely. Like, if you don't believe that, then I can tell you about some oceanfront property on Lamar Avenue. I could tell you, but it's going to get a lot more expensive, so they can stream it and charge you, out the my ESPN subscription that I pay for college baseball is already expensive enough. It's going to get worse with this. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I remember when they added ESPN Plus, and it was like $5 a month, and now I think it's $30. I don't have it.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, I don't.
It's awful.
It'll be $75 now. If you want
probably, I was going to say at least 80, and so now I'm paying for YouTube TV, and now I'm paying for that, and it's just like, when does it end? Like, we cut the cord to get cheaper, and it's anyway. But we do have some breaking college football news, Drew. The first coaches poll of 2025 has been released, the most updated one, and it is here on your screen. So the coaches all get together and they vote on their top 25 each year in the preseason to see where these teams rank before a single game is played. No shocker, Drew, to me in the top 5. Texas and Ohio State have been kind of front runners on everybody's preseason, way too early polls. Penn State had a good run. Feels like they're turning the corner with James Franklin. Georgia, if they could just figure out how to order an Uber, can probably stay in the top 5. And then you've got the Notre Dame Fighting Irish that it never fails is going to be in the top 5 or 10. And usually, last year notwithstanding, but usually they're going to find a way to fall out. So any other outliers or things that jump out to you here, Drew?
No, not particularly. Notre Dame, for once, I'm not going to complain about their 5 because they did win a playoff game in pretty dramatic fashion. Just muscled Georgia to the ground. Yeah. I've said on the show 100 times, I always look at places that return a quarterback, a veteran quarterback. And so Drew Aller, Penn State being number 3, he is getting a lot of love. 2 years ago, Ole Miss played them in a big bowl game in the Peach Bowl, and I thought he was trash. Maybe he's good. The other returning quarterbacks, Cade Klubnik at Clemson.
Clemson's
also getting a lot of love.
Momentum.
I really like Garrett Nussmeier. Former Ole Miss quarterback Luke Altmaier, ahead in the number 12, Illinois Fighting Illini.
Shout out to Lauren for the podcast.
Yeah, Lenora Sellers at 13. I've got to mention Ole Miss at 15. That seems on the higher end of what I thought, considering my own criteria being no returning starting quarterback. But all the tools are there. And if Austin Simmons is half as good as how good Lane Kiffin thinks Austin Simmons is, 15 is going to be the floor this year.
We got a hot take here in the comments. Penn State will win the championship. DG laying it down. You can check out his college betting show. I hope that he puts quite a bit of money on that. Put your money where your mouth is, because that's bold, man, for James Franklin to win a championship. Interesting.
Yeah, they haven't won a championship since Joe Paterno had a statue up. That doesn't even exist anymore.
No.
I'll tell you the team that I was most curious where they would land in these coaches polls and in the media polls when it comes out is Texas Tech, because they've said on many occasions this is like a $50 million football team that they've put together here. So to see them at 24 is it was what I was curious about, whether they would make it or not.
Yeah, so a few of them that you kind of touched on a couple. I'm pretty bullish on Clemson. They're like, it feels like Dabo's been kind of crapped on for the last few years, but he's kind of built his team back. Their defense returns a lot of starters, and anytime you bring a truck, I see King Meeks bring a quarterback back in Cade Klubnik. I think that's going to lead Clemson in a down ACC, because Miami without Cam Ward, what are they going to be? Florida State is nothing. SMU,
what are you talking about? But Miami's got Carson Beck, baby.
I'm not
the Lamborghini man himself.
I purposely glazed over that because he does not move the needle for me for Miami at all.
Clemson ended the year really good. I thought they had a real shot. going into the playoff there. Cade Klubnik, a third-year starter. I'm just always going to be higher on those guys. And you look at the top teams who doesn't return a starter: Texas, Ohio State, Georgia, Notre Dame, Alabama, Miami. I mean, you're just a lot of teams there that I'm going to need to see what the quarterback looks like. It's the most important position in sports.
A couple more teams that I was looking at. I'll get to an upset special here in just a minute. I'm curious about Indiana. Kirk Cignetti came out with all his comments about the SEC schedule. They have a soft schedule. So ranked 19th. They're only going to go up, only get pummeled in a potential Big Ten championship game. They'll have to go through Ohio State and Michigan. I don't know that that's going to work out well for them. A&M at 21 feels a bit bold. Again, they didn't look great really at all at times last year, but they've spent a lot of money on players. I'm curious where they're going to end up. And I'm calling it here now. Maroon colored glasses. Arizona State at 11 is going to get upset early in the season when they come to Starkville and play Mississippi State.
Oh, I thought you were about to say Mississippi State was going to be a top 25 team.
No, I'm saying we're going to beat Arizona State. We're just going to beat Arizona State. No, we're going to be trash at SEC.
Arizona State returns their quarterback, right? But the heart and soul of that team was Cam Scatteraboo. And if you've forgotten about Cam Scatteraboo, just go watch that Texas game again. They should have won that game.
My God.
In the playoffs.
He's looked really good in fall camp for the Giants so far. Like, he's quick. He's shifty. Like, I hope he has a good year. He's just a workhorse.
Yeah. So, that's my take real quick. One team that I expect to fall out was going to be Indiana.
Yeah, I mean, at some point they will find their way out. But there's your top 25. Let us know in the comments. Some of y'all already are. We got DG calling Clemson and Penn State in the championship. Again, I'm not going to go quite that far.
I'm really surprised Daniel is not still beating the drum for Indiana
because he was hard
on Indiana last year.
Yeah, last year he's beating it hard for Indiana last year. But one thing is guaranteed, Drew: the final top 25 poll after the season will literally look nothing like this. Like, you're going to have some Cinderella teams, some darling teams, got teams that fall out, but it's always fun to see what these early polls look like. So that's going to do it for our Monday edition of the 2 Buck Sports Show. I'm your co-host, Rusty Buggins. I got my guy, Drew Gann. We're going to be here every day this week, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock. Drew is. You'll see me on Fridays. I'm bowing out. I got some training for work to go do in Denver, Colorado, as I dip out for a couple of days. But Drew and Kenny will hold it down. We got some guests coming up. We got a ton of college football content coming up this season, this week, coming ahead. We got college football shows coming. It's going to be awesome. So thank y'all for who were in the comments. King Meeks, Jared, DG, Wayno for sticking it out to the end.
Yeah.
Jalen, all the guys that were here. Thank y'all so much. Edward, thanks for being here. Drew and Ken will be back tomorrow. I'll see y'all on Friday. Go be a friend of somebody who needs a friend. And Drew, there are no refunds for what you heard today.
That's right, because with the $2, you always get what you pay for. And I will see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of the 2 Buck Sports Show. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page, like this video, and leave a comment. We will see you back here in a few days.